The Gospel of Mark.
Jesus is insane. Mark 3:20 through 21. Hello. We recently finished learning about the individual 12 apostles. They believe that Jesus came from heaven, that he is the Messiah. Question: did his family on earth believe that he was the Messiah? If you are saved, do you believe that he is your Savior, the Messiah? Do you believe in the message of the gospel? Do you speak it? Do you believe he died on the cross and was buried in a cave? 3 days later, he was raised. And now he is the king who sits in judgment over us? Do people say you're crazy? Or maybe people say you're evil? Do people say that you have a ridiculous story about Jesus? Is that what's happened to you? If it has, that's nothing new. Jesus, his family, thought there was something wrong with his mind. They tried to drag him out of a crowd. Then he went home, and the crowd gathered again, so that they could not even eat. And when his family heard it, they went out to seize him, for they were saying, "He is out of his mind." Mark 3:20 through 21. That verse. And there's a few other verses that we have that says that Jesus' family did not know him. There are some people who wonder about that, his family, what it means exactly. Maybe they're talking about that some of the people in the group that he taught as being his family. Is that right? Well, the Greek word translated into his family in that verse and some others translates into those of him. We read in the verses, and it's clear that we're talking about his family. Maybe his mother, his uncle, his aunt, his brothers were there. We don't know for sure, but it's clear that they're talking about Jesus' relatives. It's true that Jesus' disciples sometimes didn't understand him, wondering, who is he exactly? And they were filled with great fear and said to one another, "Who then is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" Mark 4:41. And he got into the boat with them, and the wind ceased, and they were utterly astounded, for they did not understand about the loaves, but their hearts were hardened. Mark 6:51 through 52. Some people think that Mary, Jesus' mother, and other family members, wow, they must be so holy. Wow, they seem without sin. Is that true? No. Yes, it is true that Mary bore Jesus. As a baby, she believed that he was the Messiah. But sometime later, she behaved like Jesus was like her other children. James, his brother, he did not believe Jesus was the Son of God. Now the Jews' feast of booths was at hand. So his brothers said to him, "Leave here and go to Judea, that your disciples also may see the works you are doing. For no one works in secret if he seeks to be known openly. If you do these things, show yourself to the world." For not even his brothers believed in him. John 7:2 through 5. They did not believe him, not until later. And then they believed in Jesus. Maybe it was sometime after he rose from the dead. Then he appeared to James, then to all the apostles. 1 Corinthians 15:7. Sometimes Jesus' family members here on earth, they believed that he was ridiculous, like he had teachings of a man. They thought he was crazy. Why did Jesus' family think that way? Well, they have sin inside them, and it tainted their thinking. They didn't understand Jesus' teaching. That's the same that is true with people today reading the Bible. And they don't believe. They say, no, this isn't true. It's because they have sin, and their minds are tainted from it. Jesus' family members, we notice later in the Bible that some of them became spirit filled Christians. And these, with one accord, were devoting themselves to prayer, together with the women, and Mary, the mother of Jesus, and his brothers. Acts 1:14. We who are faithful to Christ should not be surprised that our relatives, our family members, think that we are crazy. Maybe they think that we are evil. We are judging them. Do you tend to feel discouraged? Don't. Jesus experienced this with people. They misunderstood him. He loved them anyway. It's the same with us today. We need to love those who think we are crazy. Why? Because we believe in Jesus. Coram Deo.
To live coram deo is to live one's entire life in the presence of God, under the authority of God, to the glory of God. Everyday Breadcrumbs, Devotional Studies for the Deaf by Brad and Tammy Schaaf. Taught in American Sign Language by Brad and voiceover by his wife, Tammy. All verses are from English Standard Version. Brad Dale Schaaf at gmail.com.